So I bought a delivery bike. You might be asking yourself why. I made 600 Rand from this per week without even having a license to drive it. And I'll explain to you how.
How are you? Good. Number one.
Tell the people you.
I'm France.
Yeah, I'm France.
I'm France.
Alright guys, so let me explain to you how I made 600 Rand per week using a food delivery bike without actually owning a driver's license for a motorbike. So in the beginning, how I found out about this is I was with my friend. I won't mention his name because it's a bit private. I feel like he's private with his life, right? And he was on a phone call. And then he hung up. And then he's like, nah, that was my driver. I'm like, you have a driver? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what type of driver? It's like, my motorbike driver. You own a motorbike? And then he started explaining the whole business idea to me. And then I caught on, I understood how it actually works. Now, I just, wait, yeah. How it actually works. So, and then I decided that, you know what, I'm going to start saving up for this because I want to do this business, you know? I want to do this business just like my friend. So then, at the time he told me about the business, I had nowhere near the amount to buy a motorbike, you know? So then, after some time, some months, I eventually had enough money to buy a motorbike. An exciting part in my life, trust me. So then, I decided, you know what, now's the time. So I went around browsing for bikes, seeing which one is perfect for food delivery service, you know? And then eventually I decided on this one, the Zane bike, or by its original factory name, Forsti 125. It houses a 125, what's that unit they use? It had a 125cc engine, which is not that powerful for bikes. Anyway, so I bought this bike and I bought it cash, brand new, for 17,000 Rand. And this was including the delivery box. The delivery box costed me 500 Rand. A lot of people might be asking themselves, why did you buy a bike that's on 0 kilometers? Well, because most people know that if you buy in cars, usually you don't buy a car that's on 0 mileage because as soon as you drive it out of the dealership, it loses its value by at least 10%. So what is the point, you know? But this is a motorbike, and a motorbike is only 10% of the cost of like a car, you know? It's like a 10% deposit. So I could actually afford to buy it brand new. And used bikes on the market looked horrible. So then I bought this bike and I had one issue. After I bought it, I couldn't take it home because I didn't have a license, you know? So I asked them to deliver it for me. So then they delivered the bike to my house. Now, the next step, the bike wasn't registered, so it was not roadworthy at all. So I woke up a few days later and I went to the licensing department. As I was saying, then I went to the licensing department and I waited a very long queue. And I saw a lot of things happening in front of my eyes, some which were not legal, but I'll just let it pass. Anyway, and eventually I got my bike registered and licensed by the licensing department, you know? And that costed me, if I'm not mistaken, around 580 Rand, right? To register my bike. And then there was one more issue. It needed a number plate. And mind you, I was not riding this bike around, obviously. I was going there myself, you know, walking. But anyway, so then what I needed is now a number plate. So then I went to a battery center. At the licensing department, they told me that's where I could get a number plate. So I went to a battery center where you can buy car batteries and everything, and they created a number plate for my bike. This costed me, please do not quote me, but I think it was around 250 Rand. So then I got my license plates and now the bike was roadworthy, it was legal. So now my next step was to get a driver. But whoa, before I got a driver, I realized, what if someone runs away with this bike? What if he crashes? What if something happens? So then I had to get insurance. I asked my friends, how can I insure the bike and which one's the best insurer, you know? And then they told me, you know what, ask for some quotes and so on. I think this is a good time to tell you that the people you associate yourself with will usually push you in the direction of the things they think about, you know? They're always thinking about business. you're just gonna end up thinking a lot about business subconsciously. So yeah, my friends told me no, get a quote because two of my friends already owned motorbikes, delivery bikes, right? So yeah. So then I settled with Dial Direct for insurance, but this insurance did not include a tracker, and that didn't concern me too much because I was like, I mean, if they steal it, I'll just claim, you know. So, and a tracker would cost me more, you know, and I was thinking about maximizing profits. So yes, it was a bit risky, but hey, no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. So yeah, I did get insurance. Now the next step was to get a driver. Yeah, this step was tiring. This took me some time. I think more than 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to get a driver, asking even when I ordered food and a bike came to deliver the food, I would tell the guy or I'd ask the guy.
Hey, do you know anyone who needs a bike? What about you? Who needs to rent a bike?
Then I'd walk around with my friend to go to like shopping centers and malls where the drivers usually park their fleet of delivery bikes. They're always there. At every shopping center, there's at least a section for the bike delivery guys. So we went and asked all of them, hey, do you know anyone who needs a bike? Do you know anyone who needs a bike? And eventually, we struck luck with this guy's like, no, you know what? Let me add you onto the group full of bike drivers and then you ask there. Once I got in the group, I sent the text, hey, bike for rent. And I got a text within, I think, 3 hours. And this guy was like, hey, I want to take your bike. And then I was like, okay, sure. And then I remembered, oh, man, you need a contract. I need a contract. So I drafted a contract for the driver to sign. That's agreement between me and him that he can take the bike. And the rate was 600 Rand per week, which was the standard rate. And I think currently still is the standard rate for bikes for rent, new bikes, right? So then we agreed on that, 600 Rand per week. And then he came, he inspected the bike, it was new, so he didn't even take too long. And then yeah, gave him a handshake and everything. He signed the contract and took the bike. And I was excited because as soon as he took the bike, I was like, day one of working on my bike. Day one of using my bike so I can start charging him. So we had agreed that he'll pay me once every 2 weeks. This is because Mr. D takes 2 weeks to pay their drivers, to give them payouts. So we agreed that every 2 weeks he'll pay me. So fine. At this point, I was making 1,200 Rand every 2 weeks, which was 6, 12, 18, 20, 2,400 Rand every month. Passively. I didn't even have to do anything. All I had to do was chill at home and play PlayStation. Okay, I was doing more with my time, but I'm just showing you the whole idea of passive income. And then as things were going so well, my driver got a puncture in the middle of nowhere. And he called me. Hey, yo, I'm stuck. How? My bruh, you're stuck. Yeah, and I don't even have a buggy to go pick him up or anything. Then I remembered, insurance. I have insurance, And then I called insurance. And then they said,
No, we're on our way to pick him up. Just send us the location.
I sent them the place where he's stuck, and then they went with a flatbed, a bit dramatic for picking up a motorcycle, honestly. And then they picked him up, and then they dropped him off at his place with the bike. And then they saved the day. Well, basically, that's when the insurance actually helped me out, Okay, and then as things were going well, business got going again, I started seeing the dark side of this business. And the dark side is the drivers. The drivers. If you do not get the right driver for your bike, you'll be a stressed man. You will not have peace, So basically, if you get the wrong driver, he'll drive you crazy because they're so important to the success of this business. Because some drivers, dude, they will just make up the weirdest excuses for why they could delay their payments, why they couldn't pay. Sometimes they'll just ignore your calls and just go quiet on you, And they'll just give you the weirdest excuses after maybe a day or two. Like, hey, no, you see my aunt, she took my soccer boots and went to play soccer. And then they injured her badly. Now she's in hospital and I have to pay. You see, I have to pay my guy and now, you see, I only have maybe 300. You see, now we're going to have problems. So just get the right drivers. And if you get the right driver, you're going to make a lot of money stress-free. And if you get a bad driver, you're just going to be a stressed man. It won't be passive income. It'll be active income because you'll just have to be. And that's the reason why I took a decision. But before I tell you what decision I took, so you might be asking yourself, okay, then how much did it cost you to actually keep the bike running and service it? Well, these bikes are low maintenance, very low maintenance. I can tell you, on average, it costed me less than 200 Rand a month to maintain the bike. But I had some issues like the chain snapped in half. I had an issue where my driver's got a puncture. I had an issue where the digital, it's not even a digital dash, it's an analog dash on the bikes, but it wasn't working. Yeah, my bike, it had a lot of issues, dude. Yeah. So that's why I decided then I needed to sell the bike. I had to sell the bike because it was becoming stressful. The driver was also stressing me. And yeah, I was like, you know what, maybe it's time I dip. So I sold the bike and I did break even, by the way. And I did make a profit. I just don't know how much profit I made, to be honest, because there came a point where I just started spending the money, dude. Just started. You know? Then I sold the bike, but I do know I made a profit. I just don't know how much the figure is exactly. Okay. So yeah, I sold the bike and that's how it ended. And yeah, so basically the bike, the things you'd have to change is the oil. It depends per driver per bike, but you'd have to change the oil once a month. You'd replace the oil for the bike, and that would cost you maybe 60 Rand. My friends serviced their bikes themselves, right? But as for me, I went to the shop where I bought it at, and I paid for the service when the driver was taking the bike. I just paid for the services. Some people decide to let the drivers do their services themselves, like the driver does the service for you, but most of the times the drivers will skip the services because it's not his bike and it doesn't bother him if it degrades, and he saves money. So you know, you might as well just be involved in the whole service process. And also in the service you'd have to change the spark plug once every now and then so the bike actually starts and runs properly, you know. So a spark plug, they're not that expensive. Hey man, I don't want to quote the wrong prices, but I know it's less than 200 Rand for a bike. These bikes are low maintenance. It's insanely low maintenance. That's why it becomes a good business if you have a good driver. And yeah, that's about it. And yeah man, check out the section where we're interviewing Francis.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, number one.
Tell the people who you are.
I'm France.
Yeah, I'm France.
I'm France. On the way.
On the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
this
sharp.
one is my boss. I just renting his bike. I'm just use it. You know, he like me. He trust me. The way, like you, the people who are ordering the food, you trust us. And also this man, he trust me. Give me his bike. I'm just using. I'm renting it. Yeah, it's comfortable. How is it?
Okay, yeah. Since we are talking about the people who order, how is it to work here, man? How often do you the times you work?
I just
What
work,
time do you start
I
usually?
start most times from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, sometimes around 9, you know. Yeah, but we work every day.
No, that's good, man. And then I know when it's raining, it becomes an issue.
My man, when it is raining, it's difficult, you know.
But you still have to make money.
But when it is raining, we're putting the raincoat, we know on the road is a slipper. It's difficult, but nothing we can do. We're trying to make money, to get something for us, to pay rent, and you know, I'm getting an order. This is delivery. Let me accept it.
Accept.
You know, this is job now. This is money. We want to try to get something. Yeah, McDonald's, this one.
Have you ever felt before?
Many times I got too many. Even I got to check on the bike. Look here. I felt. But I thank God. I thank God because I fell, but I'm still fine. You see, I fell. I got broke here. You fell when it is raining, especially.
It's tough.
It's tough, but you know, as a man, you must try to make sure that you provide something for yourself. You know, nothing you can do here.
You have to make a plan.
Yeah.
No, man, thank you for doing what you do.
All right,
a lot of people order here.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, and you do what you do.
Yeah.
And you also fall in the meantime.
I can fall. All the time I can fall. Anytime I can fall. When we are leaving home, if we go back, we thank God that we are back now home, but you know anything gonna happen, you know, on the roads, especially with the bike. This one is not balanced. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, please, I want to pay this bike 500, not 600. It's too much for me. You know how difficult is it? I think you can make a plan for me.
500?
Yeah, 500. You agreed?
I did not agree.
All right, thank you.
No, man.
you know, I've been getting a lot of likes and subscribes and comments. Most importantly, a lot of subscribers. A lot of subscribers. So I'd like to thank you that, and a lot of blessings from people. Hey, and when I look at this, I'm like, yo, so many blessings. I mean, I can't fail, you know, with so many blessings. Thank you guys, and I hope you like this video. You know, I'm like a lab rat. I do things, I try things. I'm just not afraid of failing, dude. Yeah, I test things, so you don't have to do it yourself, but you can probably do it. You might find even way more success than I do in these things. But yeah, that's how I was making passive income, and yeah,